Hello everyone, it's me Anya again, and this is the second video that I am filming for this YouTube channel. It is currently December 27th, 2025, but as usual, I think I might upload this sometime within the next few days because I am very sleepy. I don't know what it is about these videos that I only get the urge to film when it's like 11 p.m. or anytime past that. But anyway, I am back sooner than expected, and I had a great day today because I went shopping. I don't usually go shopping like just for the sake of shopping, because usually I will couple it with something else. Maybe I want to go to a restaurant. Maybe I want to go to the movies or hang out with a friend or go check out some museum or historical building. But today I went shopping just to go shopping, which I don't do usually. But I wanted to go because I wanted to find this a white turtleneck shirt or sweater or pullover. I don't really know what it's called in English, but this. And and I'm very happy because I finally found it. I have been looking for it for so long because I got like ideas for outfits that I want to make with that, and I can finally do it. So I'm very excited about that. And while I was at these stores that I checked out, I also bought myself a brown skirt like this. And again, I have a black long skirt, and which is so pretty. It is one of my favorite articles of clothing. So I always wanted a brown skirt to go with it, but I couldn't find one. And I mean, I could, but it was like the same brand and store as the black one. So I didn't want to get just a clone of that. This one is fairly different, so I like it because it fits me well, and it's not exactly brown. It's like ever so slightly red, brown with a slight tinge of red. So it's a very pretty color, and I really like it. So I'm happy. And I also visited a bookstore, and I bought myself. It's the Can you see that? It is the Lord of the Rings trilogy in German. I should be able to understand it. My German's quite good, but I still expect it to be a challenge, but a good challenge. I know I want to read more books, and as many people make their New Year's resolutions, I'm aware a fairly popular one is to read more books. So that's going to be one of my New Year's resolutions for this year. Anyway, the main point of this video, I wanted to talk about my apartment, uh, like this one that I'm currently living in, and how I got here, and yeah, just kind of talk about it because it's still very fresh in my mind. Because, like I said last video, I've been building a lot of furniture. I mean, look at this beautiful closet behind me. I've also been cleaning a lot, just getting everything set to just make it a really nice, cozy, livable space. My roommate's not here yet because he is gone. I don't remember when he's gonna be back, but hopefully soon so that he can help take out the mountains of cardboard that we have in the living room. Anyway, but I found this apartment for both of us, and it was hell, like actual hell. I have a list of topics that I wanted to touch regards to this. Anyway, I have been starting to look into getting an apartment in this city since around March of this year, March. And it was not until November of this year that I finally got like confirmation that, oh, a landlord wants me to rent this place. So that's like 8 months, if I guessed correctly. Um, Granted, of course, it wasn't until the last maybe 4 or 5 months, like summer of this year, that I really started to like look into it more seriously. But it's still a long time. Like finding an apartment in this city, which is a pretty big city for German and European standards, it was hell. I knew pretty well in advance, even before I graduated, that the housing market's really bad, and like all the offers are either really suspicious or just gonna lead nowhere. But I was not expecting it to be this bad. Um, of course, the problem is that supply is very low and demand is very high. And the way it works here in Germany is that I just go on a website. We have these websites that were either retail companies or just private landlords. They publications postings. That's the word, about apartments, and then you contact them. You reach out to them exclusively through these platforms. Usually, they provide an email or a phone, and you reach out to them with your information, maybe your names, your occupation, your income level, and then just hope that you get a reply. And it's so insane because of the sheer amount of people that you're competing against is probably like hundreds, if not thousands, for the same place, the same apartment or property. And I've spoken with people from like real estate companies, and they straight up told me like, oh, if you don't apply like in the first half an hour, maybe hour max, when a publication is made, you're most likely never going to hear back from them because of just how many people are applying to the same um, posting or looking for housing in the city. So what I did was I set up like email notifications so that as soon as the publication could go live, I could just copy paste the message that I had with our information and send it. And even then, I applied to a total of maybe, actually I counted this, 359 uh, postings. I reached out to the person who made the publishing, and from those 359, I probably only heard back from about like 10% of them. 10%. That's 35 postings. And this is over a pretty long period of applying every day, over and over and over. As soon as the publication went live, you contact them immediately. 10% of them. And that's just hearing back. From those 10%, I would say only about half actually ended up offering like any kind of viewing of the property. Um, because the other half, either they just never replied to my reply, or they were just like scams, like actual scams. Because sometimes they really want you to like pay money before you even see the property. And I'm not talking like a small fee, I'm talking like several thousand euros. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Fuck you. Anyway, profanity warning. But this was very upsetting because it happened more than once. And some of the um, landlords were even trying to sell me this excuse of like, oh, we can do this through Airbnb and they guarantee the safety of your money or whatever. But this is not a service that Airbnb offers, right? And I don't want to be sending my information, let alone my money, to people I don't trust. It's bad. Anyway, um, then when I do get to receive a viewing, some of these would be public viewings, which means that anyone can just show up at any time at that property and at a set time in that property, which is nice because that means I don't have to go through the hoops of trying to even get a viewing, be offered a viewing in the first place. But that also means that there's a lot of competition. But that didn't really deter me. I would still go. But I noticed that whenever I went to a public viewing, it was very obvious why they made it public, because they're just really desperate to get someone to rent the place, because these places were usually some of the like grossest, most poorly kept, poorly renovated places I have ever seen. I'm talking like walls broken down with no paint, dents on the floor, on the ceiling. Just any kind of woodwork would be either just very poorly kept or just completely missing. Doors would be broken, lights would be broken. I don't know. And that would be very discouraging because, well, I mean, you feel the sunk cost fallacy. You're like, well, I've already been all the way here. I don't want to just like give up now. Maybe this place, or who knows if I'll find one in the future. Fortunately, I did not settle for those stinky ass places. But then I um, eventually came back to just going to the private viewings, which is it's still very difficult to stand out. Again, when we first started looking into this, it was only me and my roommate, and neither of us had jobs or students, and we got no viewings. It was not until my roommate got a job that we started getting more viewings, and still very little, mind you. Um, but it was not until I also got a job. So when we have the income of two people, a two income household, that we and suddenly people are writing back to me, people are offering me a viewing. It's that easy. I mean, I shouldn't really act surprised that in the end landlords only care about money, but still, imagine if I had not gotten the job, or my roommate. Imagine if we were still students. It would have been so much harder, and we would honestly probably not have a place to live right now. And that is so fucked up because there's people that only there are households out there that only live on one income or just don't have any income at all because they're students, again, for example, and they would have such a hard time finding a viewing or getting any kind of response for like a long-term place. And every time I would maybe bring up these points to the landlords, they would be like, well, it's because we've had bad experiences in the past. uh, they all say the same. Like I would believe it from one or two of them, but they all say it. So it is getting really, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous because they charge, obviously, I mean, rent's going up everywhere. It's so expensive to live anywhere now, right? But the like, for example, the deposit money that we paid before is so insanely large, and they don't let you pay it over 3 months. They make you pay it at once, which is technically illegal unless you like sign or you waive your right to be able to pay it over 3 months. But like, what am I supposed to do? Not get a place to live? If I was happy with this place, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. In the end, I'm very grateful that I am able to have this place, but I just needed to rant about that because also they're all unfurnished. Again, in Germany, it just seems to be the norm that places are unfurnished. I guess we were lucky enough that it had a kitchen in the first place and like working bathrooms. But everything else we're having new furnished, which is obviously really time consuming, really expensive, and it just so tiring to build furniture, as I've already mentioned in the last video. So yeah, it sucks. It actually sucks. I still consider myself very lucky to be where I am, but I don't really know how this could be better. Like how what advice I could give to someone who is struggling with that. Like, oh, just get a job. No, no, it's not. It should be up to the people looking for homes, especially if they can pay it. They just cannot prove it, right? Even if I would have had support from my parents to do that, they need mountains and mountains of proof that my father or my mother could pay for this or help me pay for it. I don't know. It's fucked up. It's a very sad situation, and I don't really know how it could be better. That's all I had to say. I really needed to get that off my chest because it was again, it's a very recent topic that's been on my mind a lot. Anyway, I think that's all for this video. Hopefully next video can be something more lighthearted. But still, I'm glad I got to show my clothes on my book. So anyway, that's it for this video. Bye bye.